Hi everybody, I'm Tyler from Fandom Musicals. With the end of the year coming to a close of 2016, a lot of people have been confused about where Fandom Hearts 2 is or what's going on with Fandom Musicals, so we just wanted to address that in this video. We had talked a lot about it on Facebook and Twitter and given full explanation, but the people who follow us specifically here on YouTube never really got the full story, so that's what this video is all about. Alright, so rewinding back to February 2016, we had done our auditions for Fandom Hearts 2, we were going into rehearsals, everyone had already been cast, and we were aiming for a show date of July for Con Bravo, and then for September for performing in Toronto at Buddies and Bad Times Theatre. We were doing our Kickstarter and it had successfully gotten all the amount of money that we needed, so we were looking to have our show ready to go for July. Unfortunately, things started to fall apart a little when people started to leave the show for personal reasons, and we needed to quickly recast and get new people into those roles. And then around June, when we were presenting the show to the people at Con Bravo, it was clear that the show was not ready to go on stage. The songs were not up to par as they were with the rest of our shows. The actual script itself was falling a bit flat, the jokes weren't landing, it was very confusing and convoluted, much like Kingdom Hearts 2 actually is, except it was a little bit harder for people to understand, unlike Fandom Hearts, where we summed up the entire first game. This one had so many pieces and it was hard to get them all out, especially in a 2-hour time frame of the musical. After that, the tensions between our cast and crewmates were getting a little bit bad. Not being able to do the con was a real setback to us, and we were aiming to now push the show forward into September. The biggest problem, though, was that the line between those in the show or in Fandom Musicals for professionalism and those that were there for fun was constantly blurred. We had never really set the expectation when we started the group, and it sort of got pushed by the wayside. So now, getting into one of our biggest shows of our entire series of shows was really bringing out a lot of those tensions, and people were sort of getting at each other's throats for being late or not memorizing their lines properly, not being able to perform with the right amount of confidence, and it was getting to be a little bit hard. The other thing was that now we were rewriting the show to be more appropriate to a general audience. And now we had 2 or 3 different versions of this show to put on. And the time frame in August, so many people had left, we were now in the process of learning a new script and even having to rewrite songs that we had done before and maybe put those on the soundtrack. We had already recorded the soundtrack for the original show because we were expecting to sell soundtracks in July when we performed at Con Bravo. Never ended up happening, so now we have brand new songs we're trying to add in. Everyone's trying to learn a brand new script, and we had to do the worst possible thing, which was eventually to just cancel the show altogether. None of the pieces were fitting into place to be able to perform it in September, and we didn't want to do something that wasn't up to par with the rest of our shows, or especially something that wasn't a good follow-up to our original first Fandom Hearts. So the show had to be canceled, and we didn't want to set bad expectations to our Kickstarter backers, so we actually ended up refunding all of their money in full, plus the Kickstarter fees that we paid for. The weirdest thing happened, though, once we announced that we had to cancel the show for personal and business reasons. A lot of people seemed to be behind us again. A lot of people were saying, if you need anybody to be in the show, we'll be in it, but there just never seemed to be a proper place to do it. It didn't make sense to rent out an entire theater for close to $1,000 for one night, only to put on like a staged script read version where we're all sitting in chairs, not wearing costumes. It never felt right, and we didn't want to use the Kickstarter money to do that, to make a show that was, for lack of a better word, half-assed. So after we had canceled the show, we wanted to take a long, hard look at what Fandom Musicals was going to be in the future. The members of our group longed for bigger stuff or different stuff than what we had done in the past, and maybe different things than what we were planning on doing, like conventions we were going to or shows that were currently in the works. Many of us wanted to work on personal projects or get back into focusing on work or relationships or even family, and it felt best for everybody at that time that Fandom Musicals simply closed its doors, and we wouldn't produce any more shows after that. A few months back, we hosted an event in Toronto where previous cast and crew members got together, as well as any other fans that wanted to show up, and we even had some guests show up as well, which was pretty cool. We talked about all the shows we had done before, we shared stories, we shared favorite memories, we even sang a couple of our favorite songs together. We gave away all of our remaining merchandise because we couldn't hang on to products that we were possibly going to sell if no one was going to represent Fandom Musicals anymore. And we also started to announce that all our music was now available for free online. And it was a nice way to close out the group. Instead of there being some big failure of a show, we instead closed out with nice memories, which was kind of fitting to Fandom Hearts, I guess. So where do we go from here? We still have tons of videos that we have yet to edit and upload online, so our YouTube channel will still remain active. We'll obviously still go in and comment on comments on our videos and reply to people who are interested in us or who are just getting into us for the first time. Our Tumblr page will still be active with any new photos or videos that we upload, and we'll continue to post on Twitter. All of our soundtracks are completely free now at fandommusicals.bandcamp.com. And all of them were also removed from Google Play and iTunes, though I think those files are still lingering up there if you want to take a listen or download them. I wouldn't recommend buying them though, because the music's free on Bandcamp. Just go there and download it for free. And the script for Fandom Hearts 2 is currently with the person who wrote it, and if they choose to do anything with it in the future, then they might do it. We even might be doing shows of our own, little projects here and there. We might even come together for a big project, but it won't be as Fandom Musicals. We might be something else. We might even just be individuals who want to get together and have a good time. So all in all, just so you guys know, all of our fans, Fandom Hearts 2 is cancelled. The soundtrack is still available if you ever want to hear everything that we recorded and everything we were looking forward to. We have tons of videos that we'll still put out to try and give you an idea of what the show is going to look like. Our storybook may be closed now, but there might still be some pages at the end. You may see from us in the future. Who knows? But anyways, thank you guys so much for 4 years of awesome 2013 to 2016. That is 4 years. I counted 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. That is 4 total years. So thank you guys so much, and as always, spread the fandom.